And good evening and welcome to the High School Huddle here on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI. Of course, we are brought to you by our good friends at Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, and we get set for week 3 of the high school football season. 2 weeks behind us. This is the last week for non-district games for, I think, everybody in the state of Oklahoma. And
wait, what week is it?
It is week 3.
Okay, week 3.
We're doing this again?
Week 4 of games, though.
Week 4 of games,
Week
but
4
it's
of
week
games.
3. Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
Why
So
is it
there's
week
some
3 if it's week.
week 0. And before we get going, Phil, we appreciate you joining us. I mean, the things you went through in the last 24 hours to be at this table is just mind-blowing.
Pushed through a lot of pain, Chris.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you had a little short visit to the ER last night and a lot more sleep and stuff.
I thought this will be funny. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'll just put a little funny post out there, and I got people praying for me, laying hands on me. I appreciate it. It's very sweet, but it was just a little scratched eye. It was irritating.
Have you got to 100 likes yet?
I'm working on it.
Okay, all right, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But there were some great games played over the week. There was also some news off the field as well. John McKee, the Bartlesville head football coach, has indeed resigned. If you remember last week, we talked about him being indefinitely suspended, which smelled kind of funny. But he did resign not only his coaching duties. He was at Bartlesville for 7 years as a head coach, 11 years in total on staff. Played college football at East Central and was on that state national championship team there. But not only resigned his coaching duties, but his teaching duties as well. And he released this statement saying, "I have identified some personal changes that I need to meet head on, and I will use this time away to work on becoming a better person, husband, father, teacher, and coach." So that's some of the news off the field this week. So Bartlesville without their head coach for the second week in a row and for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, hope situations like that he can get on track and address whatever those issues may be, and his family's okay, and anybody else that may be involved is okay too, and just wish the best for people. That's a tough deal. These kids, they get so involved with their coaches, and when sometimes we forget coaches are human beings too, and when they make mistakes along the way, that has a heck of an impact on these young people. So just hope everybody over there ends up okay at the end of the day.
And the school hasn't said it. They said it's personal, so we don't know what it is. But hopefully it's something that not only he can learn from, but his assistant coaches as well as the kids. These are real life issues here, whatever they may be. So, but plenty of good football on the gridiron this past week, and we look at one of the big ones in the state of Oklahoma last week was Broken Arrow at Owasso, and Owasso remains undefeated, 3-0 now as they take down the BA Tigers 49-27. And Jinx was the other big one, obviously, last Thursday. Jinx goes down to Tulsa Union 59-40, and it was a 3.5-quarter tie ball game, and it just shows you Jinx, who, by the way, has the toughest schedule, I think, non-district schedule, but it just shows you that Jinx, while, yes, they are 0-3, but on any given day, they can be and compete with anybody. Yeah,
I mean, don't go to sleep on Jinx just yet. I mean, by the time the season's over, it very well could be Jinx and Union, again. Yeah. I mean, although I really think Coach Blankenship's got Owasso just going in the right direction. I mean, they talk about a tough schedule. I mean, they probably had the second toughest schedule in the state. If
and Broken Arrow has one tough.
Yeah, if Union hadn't stepped out and played the school that was at South Lake. Yeah,
but those schools almost have to play someone tough because there's not too many people willing to play.
Right. No, my point is that's why Union has a little tougher schedules. They played probably the tougher out-of-state opponent. But anyway, it's at the top in Oklahoma. When you look at Oklahoma football, at the top level, Union, Jinx. I'll throw Broken Arrow in there. I'll throw Owasso in there now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lawton.
They can go in and play. They can go in there and play about anywhere, and are going to be successful. I mean, those are
how about Norman North?
Wow,
they're down this year. Aren't
Cannot
they?
believe that.
They're not down. They got beat. I think that they're still a very talented ball club.
Yeah, they almost got beat by Norman in week 1.
Yes.
And then didn't look good last week.
Where they were last year, yes, they are definitely a little bit down, but
maybe not playing up to their potential.
Well, we thought that we thought that they were at least I did, and nobody really disagreed that they had a good chance of winning the whole thing last year.
Made the finals.
Yeah.
But UConn UConn opened up the airwaves of 88 yards through the air. The rest of it was on the ground. But
88 yards.
Yeah, UConn with the big win over Norman North kind of sent some shock around the state. But
Really?
Jeremy Reed's second-year head coach, or first-year head coach over there at Union. Quarterback Perry Olson passed for 88 yards, but he did rush 30 times for 214 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns.
And
that was
passes
at Norman
were
North.
Waggles, Y-hots, flat passes, screens.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
I don't think we're trying to stretch the field there, were we?
Did you guys watch the Georgia Tech? Who did Georgia Tech
did.
play? They had the lead the whole time on that Sunday night game of Labor Day weekend.
I'm trying to remember.
If you saw that game, that's exactly what UConn looks like, that flex bone.
Yep.
Or if you've ever seen Air Force, Army, Navy, any of the service academies, that's the flex bone. It's not the wishbone, it's the flex bone. It's quite a bit different, but it is a very effective offense if for no other reason. Kind of back in the 80s when you had teams running triple option and nobody else did, it's hard to prepare for in 1 week. I assure you that.
Well, and we've talked about before, K's, all three of us had this conversation that a lot of times defenses today, they get – I mean, you know, people –
They're getting smaller and faster.
Well, yeah, and people will sit around and go, well, look at all these points they're putting up, and they're allowing all these yards. And I'm thinking, well, you know, our first game of the year, both teams had over, 70 plays? The locally, against Enid. Their defenses are seeing so many more offensive plays. It's just crazy. And so I don't necessarily think defenses are any worse or any better. I think they're out on the field more.
Well,
and there's more
let me ask
opportunity
you
for
this.
offenses to put up numbers.
Let me ask you this. Texas has been doing this for 30, 40 years. It seems to me like Oklahoma's followed suit where most teams are putting their better athletes on offense.
Yeah, in high school level, unless you have a really defensive-minded head coach that will say, well, no, I'm going to take him. He's going to be over here with me
like
on
a C.J.
defense,
Moore, Devontae Lee.
Right. No,
do
there's
they play
freaks out
as much
there.
defense as they do offense?
Right, but you know what I mean, though. There's just there's less of that than there used to be. So yeah, I think you're seeing more and more of the freak, natural athletes on the offensive side of the ball. Although I'd like to see what that Proctor kid could do. I bet he could play a little offense. Don't you think?
Yeah, and the Proctor kid at Owasso was actually at the Ohio State-Oklahoma game.
Ouch.
So, not that one game.
Is he going to Norman now?
You think he is? It depends on different kids.
Yeah,
but
I know that Kenny.
You can't make a decision off of one game, right?
But you know when Kenny went and visited Missouri.
Kentrell brothers.
Yeah, when he went to Missouri and visited. Was the night they beat Oklahoma, and I think at the time Oklahoma was ranked 2 in the nation or something like that. And I remember looked at Tanya and I said, "Looks like Kenny's going to Missouri," you know. But it's just, it's hard to. I think it does have influence over more influence than what maybe we might think. You know, when you're an 18, 19-year-old kid and you're looking at the atmosphere and the buzz, and I think that does play. And let's be honest, more and more kids are switching verbal commits. It happens more and more every year, and we could do an entire segment on whether or not that's good or bad or right or wrong, or.
And that's because they're committing earlier than they ever have.
That's right. You got a lot of kids committing so early; it's just crazy.
That's why college coaches want that early signing period to seal the deal.
The smaller coaches, the OUs don't. The OSUs of the world, Tulsas of the world do. Because what happens is they'll commit to an Oklahoma State.
Why do you call OSU a smaller school? They're ranked number 8 in the nation.
This has happened time and time and time again to OSU. I can name you 2 right off the top of my head in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
The OSU will get a commit from a big-time recruit.
Yeah.
And then in the last second, that recruit will switch to OU or will switch to USC.
Sure, no, I get it.
The Nick Starkle kid went to A&M. Ronald Jones went to USC. So they'll commit to an Oklahoma State, Kansas State type school just to have a landing spot.
Yeah.
And then they'll kind of use that as a springboard, and then the offers come in, then who knows what's going to happen.
Because what happens if you're a kid that gets offered by, you can go back, you can look at a lot of kids across state. You'll see a lot of kids offers from like North Texas or Ohio or Air Force or one of the service academies or something like that, Central Michigan, whatever. And then later in the year, you'll read about them, and they're going to OSU or Tech or whatever. And because Casey's dead on, recruiting's such a weird deal. Teddy Bridgewater, when he was still in Miami, or when he was verbally committed to Miami, he was a 5-star. he decommitted from Miami and committed to Louisville, and they dropped him to a 4-star.
Yeah.
You know, well, that kid wasn't any. I mean, nothing changed about him, right?
And that happens a lot. The vice versa of that too. A kid will be committed to Kansas State and be a 2, maybe a 3-star.
Right.
All of a sudden, he commits
to OU.
Tennessee.
Yeah, right.
All of a sudden, he's a 4-star.
Right.
Well,
So it's an interesting business.
James Washington's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
He was from Sanford, Oklahoma, which is the size of what, maybe Crescent? Okay, about that size in Texas. It's that small. I mean, a very small school. Nobody knew about him except for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State offers after they see him in a camp, and then they saw him at the track meet. And then as soon as OSU offers, guess who jumps in? The University of Texas and everybody else.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, he was a 2-star at the time.
Right.
If he had recommitted or decommitted, then committed to Texas, he'd have ended up being a 4-star like he should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so that's a whole business in of itself, and it's not
really
necessarily
is.
a good business.
Having said that, the statistics will tell you the teams that have the 4 and 5 stars are the teams that win national championships.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
your
there is some
Alabamas.
legitimacy to it.
Does Alabama ever give a scholarship to a 3-star? I mean, I'm sure they do. But
they lost 2 5-star linebackers, and I think
and they acted like it was
no big deal.
Yeah, it's no big deal. So crazy.
Our friends up to the north in Stillwater and Payne County, closer than expected, I thought, in a low-scoring game, but Stillwater took down Moore 14-7. Stillwater's got a big one this week as Mustang comes down. 6A Division I Mustang comes into 6A Division II Stillwater, and Stillwater defeated Moore 14-7. 2-0 Mustang this week, 2-0 Stillwater this week.
Was there any chance that Stillwater was looking ahead?
I think that's a possibility. I mean, you don't know.
You have a young quarterback, man. The hardest deal with young players, and you have a freshman tailback.
Who everybody you talk to will tell you that young man could end up being one of the best talents we've ever seen come out.
Well,
no doubt.
A lot of credit's been given to him already because I saw a lot of teams are stacking the line to stop the freshman Quantrell Walker, who in 2 games has only 199 yards, and head coach Tucker Barner thought that the running game would be a little better. If you're getting a 100-yard average from your freshman running back, that's pretty good. But they are stacking the line to stop him. Gunnar Gundy, guys, here's his number so far in his first 2 games, and the last number is the most important number, I think. But he's 16 of 25 for 358 yards, 4 touchdown passes to 0 interceptions.
Mm-hmm. And when you have young players, the thing as a coach that is the most worrisome is the consistency of it. You know you're going to get the high side of it, like with a Gunnar Gundy, with the running back. They're going to have their great games. Now, can they do it every week?
Right.
After they have a really good game like they had week 1, does it go to their head a little bit? Do they not quite prepare like they should? I'm not saying that happened at all, but that's something you have to, as a coach, you have to look out for. And then you have Mustang coming the week after, which is a huge game. So how do you convince your kids? Coaches never look ahead, don't get me wrong. How do you convince a young kid who's never been through it, not to do that? The kids are smart, right?
Kids are smart, but along those lines, kids are smart, and they're also, I think, are mature. I think kids today are much more mature than I was when I was 15 years old, 16 years old.
Let's go out on a limb here, Phil.
Started already. But you know what I mean? I mean, I think kids today, they're just – it's different. I mean, we were all – when I was in school back and played leather helmets, we didn't talk to kids from other schools. If we did, it was at a track meet and trying to see if they wanted to fight. I mean, it was crazy. Nobody was buddies with the people from across the way.
Twitter friends now.
Oh, they're friends on social media. They meet up in the city and go to the movies. I mean, have popcorn. I mean, good Lord. All this niceness just killing me.
One other note in 6A football.
I can't imagine that.
Edmond Santa Fe took down Deer Creek 38-21. Deer Creek
what was that?
Edmond Santa Fe took down Deer Creek 38-21.
38-21.
Deer Creek's 1-2, right?
1-1. What do I have down on my
They
note?
beat Southmore.
Yeah, they're 1-1, and they got Ed Memorial this week. But their quarterback, who also is an outfielder and most known for a left-handed pitcher, he's thrown for 417 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but he commits to the Kansas Jayhawks on the baseball diamond.
Really?
Kansas is coming into Oklahoma on the baseball stuff.
Yeah, they got the lefty from
Eli Davis.
Eli Davis, yeah.
So Kansas baseball making a.
Yeah, Rich Hill does a great job up there. He's been there for years and years and years. And if you want to go, and Ryan Graves is the former pitcher at OSU. He's the pitching coach up there. He does a fabulous job. So if you want to go just to a solid program, nothing that's anything special or anything, but a solid program, KU's a good choice, and it's a great campus.
It's amazing how he gets these these Kansas can get these kids. He's a senior, but Eli Davis committed at the first Shawnee pitcher. Committed to him as a freshman. It's amazing to get him this so quick to commit, where the kids don't have to wait. Because I mean, for a kid like that, you would think Kansas is kind of there all the time. Maybe you get some other big offers, but we'll see.
Well, but again, that's one of those deals to where you commit to Kansas, and then as soon as Oklahoma State, I say Wichita State because I grew up with Wichita State being outstanding, but LSU, somebody like that comes along. Who's to say that doesn't change, right?
Of course, baseball's a lot different too because of the way scholarships are allocated, and I think there's a lot of other things that go into that.
Baseball, but we said this last week. Kids commit to coaches in baseball more times than not. They're not committing to facilities. They're not committing to a town. They're not committing to a university. It happens from time to time. There's kids that grow up wanting to be an Oklahoma State Cowboy. Jordy Mercer, Rebel Ridling, remember those kids?
Yep, Rebel.
They were going to be OSU Cowboy baseball players. Period, end of discussion. You have some of that. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, when you're talking about kids from the Dallas area, kids from the Fort Worth area, kids in Oklahoma, you name it, and they're committing to Oklahoma State, they're committing to Josh Holliday.
Yeah.
Right.
They're committing to James Valet. They're committing to Rob Walton. They're not committing necessarily to Oklahoma State. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I mean, you look at OU when Coach Stoops retired, this past season, Lincoln Riley steps in, and I think you could actually argue the recruiting class got better.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not by any means a slap at Coach Stoops, the winningest coach in school history, but
Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend, but it's recruiting's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing. What do you think about Mayfield's little victory lap, Chris?
The flag.
Did you like that?
I didn't have an issue with it. It was fine with me. Although if I had to do it again, I would probably say don't do it. But I didn't have a big issue with it. But I was like, oh, don't do it. He just did it.
Yeah, the coach in me coach in me says you already have OU on the side of your helmet, which means everybody's already gunning for you to begin with. Why in the world do you want to do anything to make anybody gun for you anymore?
I just think Baker feeds off
of
stuff.
that. Yeah.
He does, but does his teammates?
Yeah, because they go as he goes. I mean, there's no doubt who the leader of that team is. It's Baker Mayfield.
It just reminds me, of course, and being a baseball guy, when a guy shows out like that, the first thing I think of is, well, the next guy up's getting ready to get hit in the back.
Well,
so I think about it from the teammate perspective.
And remember, Terrell Owens took a beating for doing on the Star.
Yeah.
So,
but Baker, I was not aware until I think you showed me, Chris. Last year, Ohio State took like a sign or something out in the middle of the field in Norman.
Yeah, I can't remember what it said.
And you can tell by my shirt, I'm not a OU guy by any means, but I am a Big 12 guy. So I was screaming, go, go, go the other night. I wanted OU to just stomp a mud hole in them, but anyway, you're talking about young people who are going to do silly things and are going to let their emotions get the best of them. He came back a couple days later and apologized, and and I think Baker Mayfield, because of his situation this summer where he got arrested in Arkansas for again doing a stupid kid thing. I realize he's the first college kid to ever go out and have too many beers and then do something stupid after the police show up, but I mean, you're going to have those things. Now, he needs to get control of it because he is undoubtedly going to be an NFL quarterback somewhere. And, that stuff's costing him money, so it's becoming a business.
You don't want to be a good apologer.
No.
you don't want to be good
apologist.
At that. Apologist.
The only thing that means is you've done it a lot.
Yeah. We need to take our opening timeout here. On the other side, we had a big matchup that really ended up being a blowout with Bishop McGinnis and Bishop Kelly, talking about that. And when you leave the high school football games, you look at your clock and realize it's 10:30. Talk about the length of the games and some of the big matchups in Week 3 as we close out the non-district portion of the schedule for most of the teams in the state of Oklahoma. Take our opening timeout. This is the High School Huddle presented by Legacy Wealth Advisory Group.
Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisory experts, provide consulting, training, and turnkey solutions for businesses and their employees. Legacy provides solutions and strategies for employee benefits, human resources, commercial insurance, estate planning, and tax planning. Visit them online at legacywag.com or contact Legacy at 405-216-5578 for a free consultation and start planning your future today.
These cinders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
At Brown Engineering, our civil and environmental engineering services specialize in water systems for rural water districts and small communities in Oklahoma. Our architectural services specialize in civic and commercial architecture for small to medium-sized communities throughout the state. For engineering projects, call Phil Brown or Mike Brown. And for architectural projects, contact Jana Phillips at 405-372-4848. Brown Engineering, Architecture and Engineering.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 and the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600. Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
What makes a great bank? Financial strength, convenient hours in multiple locations, the latest financial tools. Bank First offers this and more, a lot more. In fact, Bank First employees volunteer with nonprofits, serve on school boards, church and civic groups in every city we serve. Bank First does this because we're more than just another bank. We're an integral part of 50 Oklahoma communities. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma and you. Member FDIC.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678. Don't have time to call? Send us a text at 405-973-8645 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
Alongside Casey Porter, Phil Nichols, I'm Chris Evans. Welcome back. High
Hey,
School
you
Huddle.
in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Hey, you in the third row.
There we go.
What are we doing
There,
here, guys?
are you in the third row, Phil?
What are we doing here?
This is the High School Huddle. We are presented by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group. Go to the website, legacywag.com, making smarter business decisions every day. And for you consumers out there, the website that you want to go to is legacywagbenefits.com. And a lot of moving parts in Oklahoma when it comes to insurance, Phil. And good news, Blue Cross Blue Shield and
Integris,
came to a mutual agreement, just like Channel 5 and Cox came to a mutual
agreement. It's funny how they
agreement.
always get to that and they get it done.
Yeah. Always, and of course, the OU Ohio State game might have sped that Channel 5 Cox deal up real quick. But employee benefits from business insurance, tax planning, human resources, it's all. Again, LegacyWag.com, our title sponsor here on the High School Huddle. Kind of a surprising game, I thought. Bishop McGinnis went to Bishop Kelly and took it to the Comets, 42-21. And as soon as I try to make an argument for an East Side school in Class 5A, I'm done. No one on the East Side is winning. Bishop Kelly has a great regular season every single year, and then in the great first-round playoff on the East Side, and then when they cross to the West, Bishop Kelly, they're done. So I am done with East Side football. They're going to have to surprise me to change my mind.
I mean, we saw that group of kids in a scrimmage. They're fine. I mean, they've got some darn good football players. And it was just a good old-fashioned butt whipping. What it was. I mean, so I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah. By the way, did I not write down his numbers? Dominique Richardson.
He blow up.
Yeah, he had a big game. It was 200 yards rushing. I don't know where I left my notes at, but he had over 200 yards rushing in that victory. Here it is. No, that's Carl Albert notes. Here it is. Richardson, 278 yards on 27 carries, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the sophomore running back's pretty good, isn't he?
The transfer from Piedmont.
Yeah.
Or the move-in from Piedmont.
One or the other. I mean, how many kids did poor Piedmont lose?
They lost some to.
That's good for us, though, being in the Guthrie district.
Yeah, and they lost some to PC West as well, and PC West is a better program. But Piedmont, they're not very good right now either.
They got to be looking at those numbers those kids put up and go,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Piedmont 0-2. They got the Noble Bears this week. Noble, a better ball club as well this year, despite losing their quarterback. But Noble's schedule will definitely pick up here in a little bit. But they do have, who did I say Noble? At Piedmont. And so I think the Bears will safely go to 3-0 on the year.
Crazy.
Matchup, Carl Albert hosted Ada. Carl Albert's got another big game this week. Carl Albert's playing a nice non-district schedule this year, as they do every single year. But Carl Albert over Ada, 42-20, in a game that was somewhat close. The freshman quarterback for the Titans, obviously Carter LaValle, out a few more weeks until he comes back, the starting quarterback for Carl Albert. But they have the freshman in there, struggled a little bit, but was able to get some confidence going. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have Adrian Taylor in your backfield. 13 carries, 206 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Good Lord, on 13 carries?
13 carries, yeah.
You're good with Cypher and Casey. How many yards a carry is that?
How much was it again?
206 on 13 carries.
Got another freaky talent.
About 8-9 yards.
130 would be 10.
It's more than
so about 20 yards a carry. So.
You don't do math anymore.
Well, no,
17, 18 yards a carry. Yeah.
9 times 2. I was getting there.
No, you were working through it.
I was working through it.
Okay, sorry.
I have to take my
Shoes
halves
and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay. If you had to pick your 5A Class A state champion, who would it be right now? McGinnis or Carl Albert?
McGinnis.
Carl Albert.
Both got the running games.
Carl Albert. Because when LaValle comes back, they're going to be a different team.
Of course, Guthrie has them next week and the week after. So
it's what you call a long stretch, Chris.
Yeah,
that's a tough row. When you're playing the 2 best team, we'd all agree they're the top 2 teams in 5A, right?
I think so. Then right behind them is Ardmore.
Right.
And Lawton Mack, although Lawton Mack took it on the chin. They got to be by 30, 50, 20 by a good Lawton team, which Carl Albert beat Lawton.
Yep.
Right.
But struggled. So there's a good, of course, the transitive properties in football don't work very well because it's all about matchups. But if you wanted to use them, Lawton plays Carl Albert very close and then kills Lawton Mack. So you could say right there that Lawton Mack obviously not near as good as Carl Albert. They lose Anthony Love, the third, who's at Oklahoma State University.
Oh, is that where you went?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was a late signee.
Didn't know that.
And then, the running back. What was his name? The little kid?
Yeah.
He was so good. Yep, there's Coach Chappell calling. But anyway.
Good to know that he follows our show.
Yeah, I'm glad he's watching or listening. Appreciate that, Coach.
Second week in a row that he's called right in the middle of the high school huddle. Lawton Mack, you wonder if, of course, Love ran all that read option stuff, and they run a bunch of RPO stuff off of that, and they run that 3-4 with the drops, and they can make side adjustments. So what I'm trying to say is to be able to do all of that and make it trigger, you have to have a quarterback that has experience, because you have to have a quarterback that can make all the read option reads and then make all the RPO reads, and then they'd be physically gifted enough to do it all with kids around him that once you put him in space can make people pay.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, that's kind of, we talked about, Coach Bennett and I did the other day, the disadvantage of a Clemson-type offense is that they do so much that, you know, when you don't have a Deshaun Watson that can make all the read option reads, make all the RPO reads, and you have a kid that's not experienced, you're really limited as far as what you can do inside of your playbook, and it makes your offense really not look good at all. So I think that's kind of where Lawton Mac's at.
Guthrie in the win column as they take down the Ponca City Wildcats 48-0. Blue Jays 1-2 with that bye week this week. Ponca City 0-2, and I don't see very many wins on the left of the schedule for Coach Allen and the Ponca City Wildcats as they continue to try to build that program. Only 10 wins in the last 5 years plus 2 games into it, and it's
tough.
It's
tough. Why is that? I mean, Ponca's, they've historically struggled a little bit in football, I believe.
They've had some periods in the 80s when they had Meek Shaw that went to UCLA, Chris Smith who went to OSU.
In the early 2000s,
and they were really good.
Squad.
The last playoff was in 2005.
Yeah. So they're
with Schlitz at quarterback, I think. Yeah.
But you know, the other thing too is, boy, could that win not have came at a more perfect time for the Guthrie kids?
Yeah.
I mean, it was neat, and we saw some things really come together for them that is really encouraging. You know, the staff made some personnel moves and did some neat things, and really, in my opinion, showed why we constantly. I think people listen to the show, they might think that it's because we're from Guthrie, but I tell you what, our staff at Guthrie is as good as any staff in the state of Oklahoma. I mean, they did some things on the fly that was just unbelievably. It was big time.
You're looking at Guthrie, who got beat by Ponca City last year in a weather-shortened game 9-0.
Yeah.
It's a big difference, Casey. 0-3 with the bye week with Carl Everett and McGinnis coming up.
Yeah.
So at least you go into a bye week on a victory before you get the 2 Giants on your schedule.
Absolutely no doubt about that. You always, last year Guthrie did not go into the bye week off of a victory. They went into the bye week off a loss, and although they had a better record last year, honestly, I think they might take going into the bye week without a loss with the record they have now versus the way they had it last year.
No doubt. I mean, that was a long 2 weeks last year.
No doubt. Before we get to another topic here, Aaron Ryburn wants to know about those Anadarko Warriors. Well, they're 1-1, Aaron, and they are hosting Elgin this week, who's also 1-1. So we'll see how the Warriors, mighty Warriors, boy, they had a long stretch of winning.
Well, Kevin Peterson ended up at Oklahoma State. They had the safety last year. His name is escaping me right now. That's at Oklahoma State right now as a true freshman who, if you talk to the people in Anadarko, they will tell you that he is probably the best athlete of all of them to come through.
Wow.
Although, and he's one of those you talk about, wasn't highly recruited.
Right.
OSU just found him in a camp. He came from a program that's produced Division I players.
Yeah.
So Mike Gundy's just great at
and
pulling
that they
the trigger.
trust. They trust what they're told and what they learn about the kids.
Obviously, that's another program that is looking to replace top-of-the-line talent.
Yeah, 13-1 in 2012, 14-0 in the state championship in 2013, 11-1 in 2014, and then they slipped to 8-4 and 15 last year. Playoff team still with a 5-6 over a record. So Anadarko, they're the king of the Chickasha area right now. Chickasha,
well, that's tough.
Anadarko's had some good basketball teams.
Minko's not bad. Amber Pocasset, I don't even think plays football, do they?
I don't think so. No.
And when you look around there, that area, I mean, some of those that's pretty much the small towns you'd think of.
Who's the
Grady County?
Marlowe's not. Marlowe's down a little bit. Central Marlowe's.
Who's the best high school football player from a, let's say, 4A and down that you've ever seen?
That's very simple for me.
Who is
it? Stacy Satterwhite.
Okay.
Came out of Welch, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Well, you got to remember someone like James Allen that played at OU from Wynnewood. Wynnewood's small town.
And ended up in the NFL.
Massey from Spyro.
Yes, Chris Massey. Spyro was what, 2A at the time?
Pretty small.
Where was
but see, here's the difference.
Where's Teddy Lehman from?
Fort Gibson.
Fort Gibson, yeah.
He's pretty darn good.
Yeah, they're 3A though, right?
Yeah, middle.
You got to realize Stacy Satterwhite came from 8-man.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you honestly, the undisputed greatest small school football player of all time is Josh Foyle, Josh Brown, from Foyle.
Yeah.
Long
time career.
Yeah, kicked went to Nebraska, kicked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you consider kickers football players, Phil. I don't know if you consider kickers football players or not.
I would him. He's about 6'4", and yoked up.
I think
yeah.
As far as accomplished, if you say who's the most accomplished, in the small school, I think you'd have to say Josh Brown from Foyle.
If he didn't play his last game, he played his next last game inside Jelsma Stadium.
Yeah, he did.
Now is that like Alex Rodriguez played his last game at? Or is that the same deal?
Rumored to have.
Rumored to have.
I don't know if A-Rod's
did that really happen?
I don't know if A-Rod's even been in Oklahoma. Inside joke out there in radio land. Real quick, I want to get into this. I was watching Norman North, not last week, but the week before, and it was halftime. And same way with Jinx and Union. Now, they did start at 7:30, and I despise 7:30 or 7 o'clock starts, but now I love 7 o'clock starts.
With new spreads.
But with these spread offenses, of course, we do a post-game radio show for Guthrie, and when we get off the air, it's 10:15, 10:30. These games have seemed to go on a little bit longer than normal this year.
Yeah, they have, and that's because they're running more plays. And, a lot of people think that spread offenses, they're all the Texas Tech air raids. They're absolutely not. I mean, these teams you watch Stillwater play, they're using H-backs, they're running the ball. It's still – It's really no different. I mean, it's still
power football.
You run the ball.
It's just done differently.
And then you play action it.
Yep.
Instead of calling it play action, they're calling it RPO. I mean, really
pass
all an
option.
RPO is, it's the old veer concept where you make one of their defensive linemen, you don't block them, and you make him dive in on the fullback. Your quarterback has to read that guy. Now, instead of pitching it backwards, they're pitching it to an H-back who's on a hot or a tight end that's on a hot or an inside slot, and they're throwing it forward. That's all an RPO is. It's just triple option football.
Baker Mayfield does it really good too.
Does it really well. And what makes it go is the fact that Coach Chappell still doesn't know we're on the air here. But what makes it go is when you have a quarterback like Baker Mayfield that can run around and literally make you defend for 5-6 seconds. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
And like to Chris's point, Mayfield's probably as good as anybody in the nation at doing that.
Who's better? Who's as good?
I don't know of anybody.
Especially when in the RPO when he passes, when he spots a tight end or a receiver coming inside him, it's just he's so quick with it.
He looks like a baseball shortstop to me in the sense that it doesn't matter what arm slot he has to get to. It doesn't matter if he's rolling left, if he's still. He just gets it right where it needs to go.
The other night he rolled to the right and stuck a toe in the ground and threw. It was a design play and threw the ball back across the field. I mean, that's an NFL throw, and that sucker had some velocity on it. I mean, it was. I'm a fan of his when he does on the field.
And it's amazing how simple those offenses are. I mean, it's 4 or 5 different concepts. In other words, we're going to pick on this guy right here, and we're going to have a run read to him. If he chooses run, we're going to throw it over his head. If he chooses to drop into pass coverage, we're going to hand it off. So because of that, you can get right back up on the line, and you can get in a different formation, run the same concept, and run about 5 plays in 15 seconds. And it looks complicated, but it's really not.
It's 5 plays, 15 seconds when to stop the clock to go out of bounds, first down. Then next thing it's 10:30, 11 o'clock, and you got to get ready for church the next day when you're watching Saturday, Friday, high school football games. They just feel a little bit longer this year, but maybe it's just.
That's what I asked
maybe
last
I'm just
week.
getting old.
You know how you know how the pro game and the college game made up for the extra plays in a game. Is they started rolling the clock again even when the ball went out of bounds. After they reset the ball, roll the clock. And now if you watch after first downs, although the clock still does stop in the college game, if you watch after a first down, it is that fast.
Yeah.
And then they changed it from a 25-second clock after it's whistled back in to just a 40-second as soon as the whistle blows.
Could you see stuff like that coming in the high school game?
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
You think that'll happen?
They're not going to allow high school games to go to 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Real quick, we need to get a break, but after watching high school for 4 weeks now,
NFL.
it's week 3, and watching college football, I got to tell you, NFL football is kind of getting boring.
Very boring. They're so good. They're so good that it limits you on the X and O's that you can do because you're going to get people killed. You can't tell Baker Mayfield to run around and do what he's doing and then put his receivers in the positions they're in. Whenever you got guys that are getting paid and that's their livelihood, and you got cats in the back like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and no thanks, man. I mean, you're not going to send guys on those types of plays.
I saw this week Anthony Gonzalez, the retired now tight end, he said in his later years when he was well established and he was retired, he'd find the defensive back and say, "Hey kid, come here." He goes, "Don't hit me in my knees. Hit me in the head. If you get fined, I'll pay your fine." That's what he told him.
Smart guy.
Hey, what'd you think about Sergio Dip?
Oh, is that the
what was it?
He was.
You haven't seen? You haven't heard the Sergio Dip?
We'll do that during the break. I think he was a little. I think he was nervous. Was he nervous?
Well, that English, they put a sideline guy on, and English is not his first language.
Okay, that's not good.
On the
Real quick, though, I got to say this. I have not watched an NFL game last year when a certain somebody who I refuse to mention his name forgot how to stand up to honor our country, and I still have not watched an NFL game, and I won't watch an NFL game until the NFL does something. Those people are employees of those, and the squads or somebody. They need to step up. You can protest all you want.
The Chiefs guy said that. He did. And then all of a sudden he had a guy who didn't do it, and he didn't live up to it, right? Am I wrong there?
But Jerry Jones said, "I'll catch you before the game ever starts," and I believe him. But I just, until that happens, I'm not going to watch in the NFL.
We are up against our second break here on the High School Huddle. Come back. We're going to look at some Week 3 ball games. There's a good one. We've already touched on the Stillwater football game, but there's also a big one in Putnam City on Thursday. The Yellow Jackets of Kingfisher. Got to talk about their win. They're on the road in Bethany. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. This is the High School Huddle presented by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group.
Dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600. Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
What makes a great bank? Financial strength, convenient hours in multiple locations, the latest financial tools. Bank First offers this and more, a lot more. In fact, Bank First employees volunteer with nonprofits, serve on school boards, church and civic groups in every city we serve. Bank First does this because we're more than just another bank. We're an integral part of 50 Oklahoma communities. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma and you. Member FDIC.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 and the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
At Brown Engineering, our civil and environmental engineering services specialize in water systems for rural water districts and small communities in Oklahoma. Our architectural services specialize in civic and commercial architecture for small to medium-sized communities throughout the state. For engineering projects, call Phil Brown or Mike Brown. And for architectural projects, contact Jana Phillips at 405-372-4848. Brown Engineering, Architecture and Engineering. Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisory experts, provide consulting, training, and turnkey solutions for businesses and their employees. Legacy provides solutions and strategies for employee benefits, human resources, commercial insurance, estate planning, and tax planning. Visit them online at legacywag.com or contact Legacy at 405-216-5578 for a free consultation and start planning your future today.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678. Don't have time to call? Send us a text at 405-973-8645 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
Phil Nichols, Casey Porter, Chris Evans with you here. High School Huddle, presented by Legacy Wealth Advisory Group.
Legacy
Set
Wealth
for week number 3 of the high school football season. A lot of teams will have buys this week as they get set. And I'm getting a feedback, Casey, in my ear.
Me too. Commercial feedback, Case.
Yeah, if we can stop that. Thank you. A lot of teams, but there are still some great non-district ball games this week, and Jinx 0-3, trying to stay away from 0-4, but their schedule continues as they go to Springdale, Arkansas, take on Harbor over there. So Jinx is probably waiting to get into district play.
Could there be a way for me to win back a couple steak dinners on that deal?
Oh no, we're just waiting for you to get healthy to take us back out.
I can go anytime you want.
As soon as the infection's gone.
Anytime you want. Well,
you're a medicine.
Touch and go.
You've been crying throughout the show.
It's touch and go.
Is that eye drops?
Tears. Chris.
Tears. Jinx, let's see here. Okay, they'll win definitely next week. Here's Jinx's first few games: Owasso, Bixby, Union, Springdale Harbor, Norman, and then Broken Arrow.
Goodness.
Schedule of the year. Good job.
That's
but
crazy.
Then I don't think a lot of people are feeling too sorry.
No, I don't. No,
probably not.
No.
Okay. Here are some of the real quick 6A Division I games, 6A1 teams. Jinx at Springdale, Edmond Santa Fe at Norman North. That will be interesting there. Mustang at Stillwater. Ed Memorial is at Deer Creek. 6A Division II, see if any of these stick out to you. Enid at McGinnis, Dell City at Midwest City. That game next year will be a district game.
Yeah.
Shawnee at Booker T. Washington. Good luck, Wolves.
Yeah.
And Bixby at Putnam City. That game is tomorrow night, Thursday.
The Bixby Putnam City game is?
Yes.
At Putnam City?
At Putnam City.
We might have found out what we can do tomorrow night.
Yep, that game is there. Dell City, Midwest City. I think
that's an intriguing game just because of the location.
Dell City's capable.
Oh, athletes everywhere.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No
now
doubt.
Midwest City has that.
Year, plus Midwest City has that plus 10 more.
Midwest City has that defensive end that's just a creature. I'm trying to think of his name.
Yeah.
6'4",
Dell
6'5".
City showed the McGinnis game that they
Monster.
are capable of playing with anybody in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Now I know they gave it up a little bit there at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But
They got athletes, though. I mean, you can't. You better not ever underestimate a team like Dell City because they do have athletes.
Not a whole lot of games, big ones in 5A or 4A. There are some big ones in 3A and 2A, but games in 5A, Carl Albert at Ardmore. Both teams 2-0. Carl Albert leads that all-time series 15-7, has won 5 of the last 6, including 2 in a row. But Carl Albert has already been tested at Lawton, hosted Ada. But this is another big test for the Titans on the road at Ardmore with a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, and it's flexbone offense again, so it's something that you don't prepare for every week. And it's certainly, Coach Rose went to the spread a couple of years ago, and we were all like, okay, well, about week 3, We'll be right back to the way,
Yeah.
No, he stuck with it.
Yeah, he did.
And they won a state title with it a year ago. And I say that to say that it's certainly not the flex bone. And so they don't see that every day in practice, neither does anybody else. And Ardmore's able to put some cats with that flex bone.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be a tall tale for Carl Albert. I would not be surprised to see Ardmore, if not win the game outright, make that very, very close.
4-quarter game.
I think it'll be a 4-quarter game, but I still think Carl Albert wins the ball game.
Taylor on offense, Taylor on defense.
Yeah.
Noble is at Piedmont, Weatherford at Woodward.
Are we going to that game?
Which Noble at Piedmont?
Piedmont?
I'll try to catch the stream of that
Okay.
one, yeah.
What do you, oh, Joe.
Class 4A
Worried there
football,
for a second.
good one here. And I forgot to mention this real quick. Davis took it on the chin to Sulphur in a top 10 matchup last week, 40-15.
Yeah.
And speaking of taking it on the chin, our Cushing Tigers tasted defeat for the first time. Went to Berry Hill in a top 5 matchup. Berry Hill snuck out 39-0. So
Berry
Hill's
Hill, one of
just-
those schools
man.
that always has tough kids and good athletes. Always.
Find
Red
a way.
and blue. Red and blue, aren't they, Berry Hill?
yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of good athletes, Davis is at Heritage Hall, Cleveland at Cushing, Blanchard at Newcastle, and Kingfisher 3-0 going on the road to Bethany, who is also 2-0 on the year. Kingfisher quarterback Jet Sternberger, by the way, 396 yards, 4 touchdowns in the victory over Hennessy, 37-14.
I mean, some of the numbers these kids are putting up these days are just gaudy. I mean,
They are.
I mean, just unbelievable.
They
Remember
are.
back in the good old days when a high school kid threw for $150? That was a heck of a ball game, right?
Well, yeah, and if you ran 40 plays, that was
Yeah.
pretty sexy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were something else. I mean, it's a whole different story now. Whole different story.
Got teams ran 4-3 cover threes with a strong safety, and they were fine with it.
Right.
You run that defense now,
Ooh, it's a long
you're going to
day,
be giving
baby.
up 800 yards.
It's a long day.
And, I was talking about Jinx schedule, Hennessy schedules, OCA, Perkins, Kingfisher, Jones, Alva, Chisholm, Perry. And then you finish up with Pawhuska, Tonkawa, and Newkirk.
Yeah.
That's a healthy schedule too.
Tough
So
schedule.
next time we go to Roosters, they're not going to be talking about Hennessy
No.
football. Is that what you're saying? They're going to be talking about something else.
And Hennessy has a bye in week 10.
Really?
Which means their season's over. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I mean, hopefully they do, but their season's done in week 9.
Why do they have a bye in week 10?
It's just how
If you're not going to make the playoffs, that would be glorious.
true.
Because you
true.
get into the other
Oh,
sports
yeah.
early. And
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. That is true.
Some 3A football games. Berry Hill travels to Perkins. Best of luck to the PTDers. Perkins 2-1 on the season. Perkins took it to McLeod 49-21 last week. Perry undefeated still 3-0. Going to Kellyville though. Kellyville also 3-0, but the Maroons playing some good
Kellyville
football.
making a resurgence.
Yeah.
I remember 5 or 6 years ago, that was a program that just. How do you put that? How do you put it, Phil? Just struggled? I mean, is that?
I mean, you play with what you got, right? Jimmy's and Joe's matter.
PT Deer's probably excited to see that Berry Hill team, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
John Marshall at Sulphur. Sulphur 3-0.
That will be quite the game, won't it?
We got to go see John Marshall.
Devontae
I'd like
Lee.
to see that kid play live again. I mean, he's a load.
Again?
He's a load.
Have you seen him play before?
Did I say again?
Yeah.
No, sorry. Thanks for pointing that out, Casey.
I just thought you meant you'd seen him. Then I was going to ask you how he looked.
Well, he looks amazing on video. I misspoke.
Chandler at Luther. Luther 3-0. Chandler 0-3. Kind of shows you how that one's going to go. Prague is at Cashin. Cashin got a victory over more than 41-14. Picks up their second win of the season. So Cashin 2-1 as Crescent comes luring here in a couple weeks.
Prague is the first time I was ever introduced to Ken's Pizza.
Yes.
It was life-changing.
Most things with Casey come back to food. Have you noticed that?
And the same people brought it to Guthrie for a little bit. Now,
outstanding.
I think
they
they're
had
in
that little girl, the old gas station, mom and pop's restaurant there. That was phenomenal.
You ever had Godfathers?
Oh my gosh,
Come
they're in
on
loves now. Absolutely.
Come on now.
Blackwell at Tonkawa. The Bucks 2-0 on the year. Pawhuska at Hominy. Somebody's going to win a game. I promise you. Somebody's going to win that game.
Those are 2 games there. I think even the communities would admit those are not games that you're going to unless you're either from those places or have kids in those games, right?
Kids, grandkids, something.
Pawnee at Newkirk. Both teams 1-1 there. I don't think this is fair. Thomas at Chisholm.
That's not fair.
Chisholm 2-1. Thomas 1-1 on the
Thomas, of course, one of the we mentioned that area of the state with O'Keene and Kingfisher and all those Kingfisher and I just said Kingfisher, but all the Enid area schools have been so good in football for so many years. Forgot to mention Thomas. They actually at one time held a national record for winning their district for consecutive years in a row, like 20, 25 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, so the Thomas Terriers were, Joe Litch came from there. Kelly Litch, one of the greatest girls basketball players of all time. The Terriers, they have a steep tradition in football.
And now Thomas Fay Custer. Millwood is at Cassia Hall. Millwood took it to the Douglas Trojans over in Langston on Saturday. Final score there was 67-7. We need to get a break.
I think, unfortunately, we called that.
Yeah.
We're on break 3, right?
Yes, this is our final break here, and we need to take it because we are almost in overtime. Got started a little late, so we'll go a little over late as well. But we need to get out of here. We're going to take our final timeout, come back, wrap it up with some other games in the state of Oklahoma. This is the High School Huddle presented by Legacy Wealth Advisory Group.
Legacy Wealth Advisory Group, your business wealth advisory experts, provide consulting, training, and turnkey solutions for businesses and their employees. Legacy provides solutions and strategies for employee benefits, human resources, commercial insurance, estate planning, and tax planning. Visit them online at legacywag.com or contact Legacy at 405-216-5578 for a free consultation and start planning your future today.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 and the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
What makes a great bank? Financial strength, convenient hours in multiple locations, the latest financial tools. Bank First offers this and more, a lot more. In fact, Bank First employees volunteer with nonprofits, serve on school boards, church and civic groups in every city we serve. Bank First does this because we're more than just another bank. We're an integral part of 50 Oklahoma communities. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma and you. Member FDIC.
Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600. At Brown Engineering, our civil and environmental engineering services specialize in water systems for rural water districts and small communities in Oklahoma. Our architectural services specialize in civic and commercial architecture for small to medium-sized communities throughout the state. For engineering projects, call Phil Brown or Mike Brown. And for architectural projects, contact Jana Phillips at 405-372-4848. Brown Engineering, Architecture and Engineering. F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Shake's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678. Don't have time to call? Send us a text at 405-973-8645 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
You do hip hop?
I can.
We're back now. I just unmuted us.
Oh, sweet goodness.
Welcome back, High School Huddle.
Sorry, guys.
3.7 FM.
A little bit of technology here. So.
We'll take you up to the top of the hour, get you back to some of the great music out there. And we are always brought to you by the Legacy WAG advisory group here, LegacyWag.com, making smarter business decisions every day. We have a lot of business people, owners out there. And if you're looking to look at employee benefits, business insurance, tax planning, estate planning, human resources, Phil and the crew can get you going there.
Yep. Always look forward to talking to folks, and it's even more fun when you can tell. We talked to one guy who played college football at Baylor. And he informed me the other day that he played an all-star game with Sam Bradford's dad, who he said was a tackle back in the day. I guess Sam Bradford's dad was quite a ball player. And so it's fun when you can get customers or new customers to come in and you talk sports with them. That's an added bonus.
I like how your partner, he watched the show last week on the Facebook, YouTube feed, and he thought it was going to be some like little Mickey Mouse type deal. He's like, "Well, you guys
are actually pretty good."
Well, I don't know, but at least we have the the laptops and make it at least look somewhat respectable. But some other games that we need to get to real quick before we get out of here. The Crescent Tigers, again, I think they're going to be the talk of Logan County. I think they're going to make a deep run in Class A football, and they're a senior-laden ball club this year, but they are at Wellston. I think they're going to go to an easy 4-0 victory there. Wellston's 0-2 on the season.
And for a school system that desperately needs good news right now, I think that football team could be something they could rally around.
Absolutely. Kiefer is at Morrison. I think our Wildcats took it on the chin somewhere last week.
Kiefer, mascot.
The Kiefer Kangaroos.
The Trojans.
Yeah, they have a commercial. Kiefer, well, they used to have a commercial.
Kiefer is the school where Teddy O'Donnell threw out the baseball coach because he told him not a word, and as soon as he started talking to his assistant coach, he threw him out. He said, "I told you not to say a word."
I love that.
Good story.
Pre-game conference.
Dewar at Coyle. Dewar 3-0. Coyle 1-0. Took it on the chin last week. Southwest Covenant took him down. Double digits.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Southwest Covenant.
Me neither.
Well, evidently they're a decent little football team because Coyle's got a good little squad. So Shane will do a good job. He'll get the kids back on track.
Of course, Dewar, the mascot for Dewar?
The Dewar Bulldogs.
We looked it up during the break. Or Phil looked it up.
Actually, it's the Dewar Bulldoggers.
Yes.
Is their mascot.
Dewar or Dewey?
Dewar.
Dewey Bulldoggers.
A-R?
Oh,
I think it was the Dewey Bulldoggers.
Yeah, Dewey.
Dewar's not the Bulldogs.
Correct.
Dewey's the Bulldogs.
Dewey Bulldoggers.
Yes. Dewey up near Claremore.
Yes.
What's a Bulldogger?
They're not playing Coyle.
That's a rodeo guy, right?
Yeah, what does he do?
Is that the guy that goes in the little barrel?
No, that's the barrel man. What is the Bulldogger?
I don't know.
The clown. That's the clown, right?
No, the clown's the one that entertains the crowd.
But the clown goes in the
He's
barrel.
the barrel guy.
You have a header and a healer. I know that.
Okay, that's team roping. A Bulldogger are these psychopaths that go on a running horse and fall off the side and basically tackle a steer.
Yeah.
Special kind of
bulldogging.
crazy.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Is that like the mutton busting type?
It's exactly like that, but totally different.
I've been to one rodeo in my life, and it was in Fairview, Oklahoma, and a guy took a horn right through his chest, and the ambulance came, and I loved every second of it. course, the crash of it was kind of funny. The guy was fine.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that. It seemed a little tragic there. He was fine.
And then there was a rodeo dance afterwards in Fairview, Oklahoma. And they played George Strait for about 3 hours.
And then there's fights.
Yes.
Because you can't have cowboys, beer, and a dance and not have a couple
I didn't say
fights.
There was drinks there. It just,
there was drinks. If there was cowboys and a rodeo, there was
this
drinks.
This is a PG show, Phil.
Well, I'm just telling you, there was drinks.
Your heroes have always been
Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah. Hey, Oklahoma State Cowboys, they're playing on a Saturday this week, aren't they?
That's true.
That's
11
nice.
o'clock.
That's a new concept for
11
them.
o'clock.
Playing on a Saturday game?
O'clock.
Who do they have this? Oh, TCU, I believe.
It is going to be
No, they don't play TCU.
the middle of September. No, they play Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh. That's right.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the middle of September, almost the end of September, before OSU plays a home game on Saturday.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
And at least the TCU game's at 2:30. They did announce that. So
OSU, we beat Pittsburgh, right? Don't we beat the brakes off them this year?
I've been an OSU fan since 1970.
Yeah, I forgot. You can find
I have an inferiority
misery
complex
in anything. I know.
that will never go away when it comes to Oklahoma State University.
These lifelong OSU fans, you could.
Well, look what they do against OU and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous.
And Rainwater was going off of, how bad this was, and Phil was trying to be positive, and Rainwater's like, if you're an OSU fan, you got to find something wrong.
You got to find something wrong. That's right.
But yes, I think OSU, if everything goes correctly, I think that's a 3 or 4 touchdown game.
Man, I just want OSU and OU to both be undefeated, hovering around. Mm-hmm. I want OSU to get up there to where they're hovering around 4 or 5, 6. Man, that would be huge.
I know TCU went and beat Arkansas last weekend, but Arkansas is terrible.
Yeah, they are.
But I think this weekend will be somewhere around 40 to 20, 45-25.
Okay.
I think Oklahoma State will beat TCU in a similar score.
Okay.
A little lower scoring, maybe 35 to 20, something like that, TCU wise. And I think K-State's really the only team that will give OSU problems just for the schematic part of it.
Just telling you, too. And K-State, coach, of course, they're busting the top 20 this week.
They can't run on the back end, though. That's a bad matchup for them because what they don't do well, which is run on the back end, is what OSU can do.
Right.
So OSU will score 1 million points in that game.
That's a bunch, 1 million.
That's our inside view for Saturday, and we're going to get out of here. Best of luck to your team on Thursday or Friday. Most of the games on Friday, but Bryce Bray and Bixby. Bryce Bray, the Oklahoma State commit, offensive line for Bixby, great offensive line. He'll be in action at Pump City. OSU fans will go out and take a look at him.
Man, after we've had such unbelievably good games in the first 2 weeks of the season, it's a little down. It's a little bit of a lull.
Of course, sounds like we're going to be in Stillwater.
Yeah.
Settling a bet, having you guys going to be having steak dinners. I'm going to have a tasty
need to
salad.
Take you out to the farm. Let you see the farm.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna take in Mustang in Stillwater. This is our bye week. Guthrie's off this week, so we're gonna go watch Mustang in Stillwater. Check out Gundy and the running back Quantrell. What's his name?
Walker.
We always do that. Yeah, Walker.
We're going to go to the farm and shoot guns, and that'll be fun.
That's
a full day right there.
Heinz Field this weekend, Oklahoma State and Pittsburgh's playing Saturday, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Vikings are playing on the same facility Sunday.
So Rob Hudson and Robbie Hudson, one of our proud sponsors of the show, are going out to both of those. They're going to. How about this for a weekend lineup, guys? Going to Canton Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Going to go watch OSU Pittsburgh play, and then going to go watch Minnesota and the Pittsburgh Steelers play. Now that's 3 full days.
Boys. Coach Morgan is an OSU fan, obviously, from Stillwater, and then he's a Vikings fan.
Oh, yeah.
So that one facility to him
is the greatest thing in the world. Yeah.
When you get out here, Luke in the station is yelling at us in my ear. And
love you, Luke.
That's not what he's saying about you right now. We need to get out of here, and we appreciate you listening. Best of luck to your teams this week, as this has been the High School Huddle here on Hot 93.7 FM KSBA, brought to you by the Legacy Wealth Advisory Group.
This has been the High School Huddle on Hot 93.7 FM. Be sure to tune in next week as we break down more of the top games and news from across the state of Oklahoma.